Hello guys, welcome to another driving mock test video. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a good year so far. So today we have another mock test at Heather Green Driving Test Center. So sit tight and stay tuned. And remember, if you've got any questions whatsoever, don't forget to leave the comment down below. And if you are considering a test at Bromley Driving Test Center and want to test yourself on how ready you are for that test center, or actually how suitable Bromley Driving Test Center might be for you, then don't forget, get in touch, because I actually do offer mock tests at Bromley Driving Test Center now every Friday. So if you're interested and you want to know how much it is and what my availabilities are, then don't forget, contact me directly and we will try and get you sorted for that. So yeah, let's get on the road now and see what to pick. So right now, as you can see, he's preparing to move off and he's doing a very good check before moving off. Blind spot check, he does that very well. Very pleased with the way he does that. Very convincing as well, because don't forget, you just don't want to look and it looks like you don't know what you're doing. You're just trying to do something you've been told to do. No, he does that very, very convincingly. So that's really good. So yep, let's get on with it. And then turn left at the junction. So that's a test center right there.
Yeah.
Do you know the test center? Look over there. No, look at the road where the white car is parked. That's the test center.
Yeah, now I understand.
And at the zebra crossing, turn left. He uses his mirrors very well every now and then to keep a good awareness of what is going on around, without letting it distract him from what is actually going on ahead. And here, as we approach the zebra crossing, but before that turn, he takes another quick glance to the left mirror. This is very important. And then continue straight. And turn right at the end of the road. I'd like you to pull up on the left just after these two cars. So ignore the driveways and the yellow lines. As he pulled up on the left on this road, he left a little bit more space than necessary on the left, as you would see there. But because this road was wide enough, that was not a problem. But keep in mind that if this was a more smaller road, that could have left the car more into the road and then obstructing other road users who might try to pass as he's pulled up on that. So keep this in mind when you pull up on the road. So if you watched the video I posted yesterday, I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I posted a video yesterday. She had two minors just because of that, right? On this road as well.
I will check it.
At the end of this road, I'd like you to turn right and then take the road immediately on the left. So where the Volvo is turning into.
Okay.
So it's right and immediately left. And at this junction, he carries out another good all round observation while also paying attention to the pedestrian on the left on the pavement here. However, though, he really didn't pay much attention to this car in front trying to turn left. Now, that could be a problem if that driver actually attempts to jump through the road and cross before him, and he would not have been aware of that coming. So keep in mind of situations like this. As much as you're looking out to those pedestrians, remember that it is also important to be aware of what is happening ahead of you as well. But when you turn left here, you're too worried and too concerned about those pedestrians that
true.
you was not paying attention to the other car on the other side. Turn left. So I would wait to just about this point to signal. Because this road, you can see the car parks are all the way close to the end of the road. If those bays are empty, you might just mislead someone to think you're coming to pull up in the bay. So your signaling normally should be about 5 car lengths from the junction. So we're going to be turning right ahead at the second traffic light.
Okay.
Yeah, so second traffic light.
So it's right here?
Huh? Yeah, we're turning right at the second traffic light. While trying to deal with this overtaking vehicle at the bus stop ahead, he pushed halfway into the left lane without a mirror check. And so he gets a serious fault because there was actually a bus approaching in that lane. Now imagine if the bus was actually much closer to our vehicle, then the situation could have been a lot more dangerous. Unfortunately, this is where a very good driver gets an unfortunate fail. Are you looking at that man? So if you're looking at that man, then I would have probably expected that you stop just before him so that you don't have to worry about him because he's trying to cross. That traffic is waited for him, isn't it? It'd be better if you just give him way to, planning and awareness. After waiting for quite a while at this traffic light, it is often common that learners might forget the speed limit, and as they move off, you just step on that gas, and there you go, driving over the speed limit. So keep that in mind. Remember what the speed limit is.
That's good. I already planning ahead. It's 20 mile here.
There you go. Luckily, you got that on time. You were just about to get serious fault.
Yeah. I was going to 30 mile.
Yes. It feels very slow, isn't it?
Yeah, very slow.
Yeah. So
At
if
least
this happens to
30.
you, you
Yeah.
see cars behind you, don't let that pressurize you. It's the
Okay.
law.
It's
It's
a
the
law,
speed
yeah.
limit. There's nothing you can do. If they want to go faster, they can overtake you whenever
Overtake
it's
you
safe
on.
for them to do
Yeah.
that.
I will go on my speed, yeah.
So that's why hence it's gonna be even much more slower if someone was to be driving at 16 miles an hour on this
Yeah.
road. Just because it's 20 and then you're
20.
trying to be very safe. That wouldn't be good. It gets too slow. So
Yeah.
we're gonna take the next road on the left. So just right where the cyclist is getting to now.
Yeah.
Too slow.
Too slow, yeah.
Too slow. That was literally almost stopping the flow of traffic on the main road. Although he took the turn quite too slow for the flow of traffic, but luckily
I'm sure you could
he
have taken
does
that turn about
carry out
between,
good
about
use
10
of
miles an hour
mirror
or 8 miles an
before
hour. But,
braking,
just think of
and
it. If there's someone right
again the
behind
car
you, they had to
behind
stop
was a
there
good
because
distance
you
away from
almost
us.
came to a
So these
complete
are
stop.
situations where your
And then
use
I
of
had to
mirrors
come up
can
and say that so
help
that
you
you don't
get
get
away
even
and
slower than
avoid
them.
faults in situations like this.
So here's where you be thinking of clearance. So if that was a bigger car, then you want to use up more of the space in the bay to give that car some space. So when it's time for Lucky to pull up on the left, please. After signaling left to pull up here, he then travels another few yards before actually doing the pull up. So keep in mind that if there were other vehicles behind you at this point, they become frustrated and agitated because you have signaled to pull up, but then you're passing so much empty base without pulling up. Why did you signal left to pull up and then you traveled so much further?
They want to cross the band, yeah, that's why.
You don't have to. It's a parking bay. It's legal.
Okay.
Because if it was heavy traffic and then you signal left, people are waiting for you to pull up, but then you keep going straight. They're waiting and thinking, why has he got the signal on, but he's not pulling up? And there's lots of empty spaces. So keep that in mind. If you wanted to pass the bend, then maybe you shouldn't have put the signal on yet. Then finish the bend, put the signal on. But there was nothing wrong with putting up on the bend because there was nothing wrong with that. It's a parking bay. So when you're ready, let's continue. And as you would see, he carries out another good all round check, including his blind spot, before moving off. At the traffic light ahead, I'd like you to turn right, please. Now, bear in mind, when you join that road, the speed limit on that road is 30. Okay. Go on. Signal right. 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 Sorry. That's fine. Right ahead, I like you to turn left.
Turn left here.
Yeah, at the traffic light. Turn left.
Understand this weather sometimes minus sometimes 15 degree, 10 degree.
Right now it's 12 degrees. It actually doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it looks like a summer going on. That's global warming and shit going on.
Yeah. So on the roundabout ahead, I like you to take the 4th exit. So that's the exit for Catford.
Catford, yeah.
Yeah.
If you find yourself here on your test, the examiner could also just tell you to follow the signs to Catford. Now, at that point, that means it's going to be up to you to figure out which exit that is and plan accordingly. And unsurprisingly, he gets to the roundabout, finds the right opportunity, and takes it nicely. So that's a good job.
Straight. Just continue straight.
Yeah.
And exit in this lane.
And here, he's done the same thing the previous learner did on the test in December and failed for it. So practice Yorkshire Grey Roundabout. It is actually, in my opinion, more complicated, or should I say actually more tricky than Clifton's Roundabout. Remember that at this roundabout, you can use your right lane if you find yourself in this kind of situation to take your exit.
next traffic light ahead, we're going to be turning right. Yeah, so next traffic light, we're turning right.
After getting the instruction, he actually waited quite a while before changing lane. Although this was not a fault, but if the traffic was at to been much more heavier than this, he would have struggled to change lane to take that turn. So plan ahead and change lane in good time.
It's 30 mile.
Yeah, it's 30 here. You can see the sign. Did
I
you?
just noticed the pole.
Is a sign as you turn at that traffic light.
I just see the sign, yeah.
Now, I understand that some people still use the street lights and the lampposts and that to try and identify if a road is 20 or 30. And previously, maybe this might have been correct. But the reason why I don't actually teach or use this, at least not anymore, is the fact that this is outdated. Because if you drive around London, you'd notice that most of the roads are changing to 20 miles an hour, and yet those street lights and poles are still there. So what would you be doing then? It would be very easy for you to confuse a 30 road with a 20 road, and vice versa. Especially if you go to Bromley. Now, most of the roads in Bromley are 30. Even a residential road that would make sense to be 20 is 30. And then you come into Heavy Green, and then you go on to a road that should be 30 and is then actually 20. So this is why I would encourage and advise you more to actually look out for the signs. Practice how to read the signs ahead, look out, plan ahead, and yeah, respond to the signs.
So roundabout, take the right, second exit, please. It's on the right, second exit.
At this roundabout, remember that this bricked section is actually not part of the main road and so should be avoided. And it would be up to the examiner at this point to decide how they treat the situation, whether it be a serious fault or a minor fault. I mean, depending on how or what impact that
And I'd
has
like you
on
to
the
pull up on the
traffic.
left after the grey car ahead.
While moving off from this point, he did a good check around, looked over the blind spot on the left, but failed to do the right. Now, you want to remember that on this particular road, there are loads of driveways, and failing to check your blind spot on the right could mean that you miss to notice a car that's pulling out from any of those driveways. So be very cautious, be very careful. Don't forget. Now, the funny thing is, he's actually been very good and consistent with the observations and the mirrors and the blind spot. But this is one of the things that can happen on the test where you miss it out on one particular place, and that happens to be the one where something goes wrong and then you get a serious fault. But luckily, yeah, there was nothing here. But don't forget, don't let down your guards. Make sure you're doing everything, be consistent, and you'll be fine. So, yeah, good job. But unfortunately, this time we missed the blind spot.
Let's put his hazard lights on.
Remember to respond to signals. So in this situation here, we've got the van in front of us. He's done the U-turn, he's now moving on, but then suddenly he slows down gradually and then puts the hazard light on. At this point, start thinking, start planning, mirror checks, can I pass around? If it's safe, then yeah, do that and continue. Remember that if you continue driving slow behind that van and you're now driving at 20 miles an hour, you can also feel for that, because at the end of the day, if the road is safe and you can actually overtake, you can't use someone driving slow in front of you as a shield for you driving slow as well, because that's why you can actually overtake when it's safe. So keep this in mind. Overtake if it's safe, and continue and make progress. As you cross the traffic light ahead, remember that the left lane is now going to be turning left only and your lane becomes the middle lane. So make sure you transition into the middle, but keep an eye on drivers on your right who might cut into the middle lane and not maintain their own lane on the right.
And then remain in the right lane. Right
Yeah.
lane. There you go. I'm sure you don't realize the speed limit here is 30 miles an hour.
I would think it's 20 miles.
Nope, it's 30. So again, at that traffic light we passed when I was telling you about the lane, there's a sign there for 30. So the speed changes at that point to 30. If you're going back the other way, the speed changes there to 40. If you're going the other direction.
At the bridge, we're gonna turn right.
Progress. After the bridge, now you send that car, so reduce speed. And you're not too much aware of the things around you. Sometimes you're driving in your lane, but you're drifting too close to the cars on the left. And I'm a little bit worried because I can see you're not really paying attention to how close you are to those cars. Now, these are the things that can make an examiner be a little bit worried, and they might then end up having to steer you away because I can see you're going close.
Oh yeah.
Now, these are the kind of situation that could cause controversy between an instructor and a learner or an examiner and a learner. So, like I said just now I've just pointed out an opinion of me, like saying, he's not aware of things around him. Rather, what I'm trying to say is that he's not showing awareness of those things around him. Now, the reason why I would say so, or the reason why I said so, is just because I'm not seeing evidence of it. So he might actually see these things, but because I'm not seeing your head move around, I don't actually know if you have seen these things or not. Hence why it is very important that you're not looking around you using your peripherals. Try and move your head around, look around. Examiners can never be able to know what is in your mind unless what they see you do. So if you move your head to look at that mirror on the left, I know, yeah, okay, you've checked the left, you probably might have seen something there if there is anything there. And likewise, if you do the same to the right, or if you look on your windows on both sides, I know if there was cars beside you there, then that is an evidence to me that, okay, good, he or she is aware of it. So keep this in mind. Don't expect the examiners to read your mind, or don't expect them to believe your own perception of, oh yeah, I can see it, but I haven't seen you looked over there. So make sure, do these things, let them know that you're seeing things by actually looking there. Now, ahead of us, we have a driver doing a U-turn in the middle of the road who is going to be driving past us after that. But there was actually more attention paid to what the driver was actually doing rather than thinking of the solution of what are we going to do about that, until I had to prompt him to move into the left so that we can give way to that driver to move on after he had finished turning around. So keep this in mind, that situations like these would be what gives you a serious fault unnecessarily. And things like this just happens just because your mind is not there. Not that you're not seeing it, not that you actually don't know what to do. Because of course I know he knows what to do. He could have dealt with that on a normal day. But unfortunately, you just get carried away by your thoughts sometimes on your test. So that's what you want to try and avoid. Try and make sure that your mind is actually on what you see in front of you rather than being carried away by what you're thinking in your mind, which is clearly not what is in front of you. So don't let this happen to you on your test. So yes, at this point, if this was your test, you would be coming back towards the test center now, which is just at the end of this road. And yeah, so that would be the end of this mock test. Now let's answer the question: is our candidate for today ready or not for the driving test? And in my opinion, yes, he is ready actually for the test. Although there are a few things here and there that needs to be polished. But yeah, with one few lessons, that would be fine. And don't forget as well about that some of these are just situations that meet you and you overreact to it. And some were situations where you probably be thinking of what I'm expecting you to do, and then that keeps you away from actually doing the right thing. And sometimes it's just anxiety of, it's a driving test and that, and in real life you would have just relaxed and deal with the situation. But I'm much more confident with his driving, to be honest, than some other mock tests that I have done. So I have no doubt that yes, if he stays calm and give you another go, stay calm, relaxed, then yeah, you should be fine. So that would be the end of this test. Don't forget, like the video, I would really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button, and if you have any questions, don't forget, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. So I'll see you in the next video. Have a lovely time, have a lovely day, best of luck with your driving lessons, and all the best with your driving test. Peace.